There's a lot of anger here in the Arab world around Israel. The Palestinian Authority leader Mahmoud Abbas has said that America now is complicit in the war crimes, as he calls them. He's alleging the war crimes going on in Israel, that America is now complicit in those and has the bloodshed of children on its hands. And, for example, Jordan has said that this vote has given Israel a licence to continue with its massacre. So there's a lot of anger in the Arab world because they believe that now, with more than 7,000 children killed and 4,000 women killed, that the civilian toll in this war is just incredible. It's just too high, and that there needed to be a ceasefire, at least a humanitarian pause, to at least try to stabilise the position somewhat. The United States has been making clear to Israel for several weeks now that it has to change the way it's doing the war, and Israel is not doing that. We're still seeing very high casualty rates. I've written a piece for the ABC website this morning saying how this is the tale of two wars, that what we're seeing in Australia and other countries, the pictures we're seeing, those dreadfully confronting pictures of children, of injured children in hospitals, of mothers carrying their dead children, they're not seeing those in Israel. Each night in Israel, it's very much a sanitised coverage. You're rarely seeing any Palestinian victims at all. The Israeli media tends to be showing that this is a clinical operation, it's a successful operation, and they're going through methodically and eliminating Hamas terrorists. But of course, that's not the war that everybody else is seeing. That's not the war that the US Vice President Kamala Harris is seeing. And so Israelis are quite bewildered here. When you talk to them about the civilian tolls, they actually don't really see what we are seeing in Australia. It's very much a bubble here in Israel. In both the north and the south, there's a lot of bombing, there's a lot of clashes, fairly close combat clashes between the Israelis and Hamas. And so around Khan Yunis in particular, lots of Gazans are trying to flee, but they don't know which way to go because, of course, there's really nowhere safe there anymore. The whole place is collapsing on itself. These aid agencies are saying, we can't do our job anymore. It's impossible to move around because, don't forget, the UN's lost 130 or so of its own staff and officers. And so these aid agencies are not wanting to have their own people out there being bombed. And so the place is beginning to collapse upon itself with disease, with starvation. As many as 50% of the Gazans are now officially starving according to the normal definition of starvation. And so it's becoming an absolute humanitarian catastrophe.